Hello, comrades, and welcome to another episode of my Crisis the Kremlin Let's Play. This is Northstar. I hope you folks are well, are taking care of each other, and being kind to yourselves. Gosh, that is a particularly loud song. Most of them are not quite this loud. I'll just turn it down on my end. Somewhat, okay. So for those new to my channel, welcome. For those returning, welcome back. New folks, greeting is in character, because this is a game where you play as the premier of the Soviet Union. Try and stop it from collapse in 1990, and it's going well. This is easy difficulty, not the easiest difficulty. There's like a very easy mode, 19Q4, but which I think refers to the theory that the prediction that the US would collapse in the fourth quarter of the 1900s, the 20th century. Instead, it was the Soviet Union that did. I think there was an early prediction along something like that. Instead, it looks like we're probably headed towards 20Q2 or something. I doubt the US will make it to 2050 the way things are going, with fascism creeping, Trump being a sign of an empire that's desperate. Maybe third quarter. You're definitely not going to make it to the 22nd century with the US still being a global empire. Maybe it'll be isolationist, but it doesn't collapse in this game, it just becomes isolationist, so I took a moment to look around at a few things to orient myself, because I am rather bloody tired. Really tired. I had a long 4-hour conversation with someone on the phone. From a dating app, which is not as uncommon as you would think. People can be really easy to talk to, or find easy to talk to you, and yet still flake out later. It's a shame. We're in a generation where, probably thanks to alienation that's inherent in capitalism, people have a really hard time relating to each other, even when they clearly have a lot that they can bounce off each other or fly to whatever. So my reserves just got to be over 400. I kind of messed stuff up here in the third world. Where I developed up a bunch of countries, all the way to basically end the US. Some of these I risked it a little bit to top off my finances, but hey, some of them I managed to into Kenya here. If you're gonna exploit the heck out of a whole bunch of countries, you should do neocolonialism and just resource extraction. Colonialism development less than 70, or mutual aid and dissatisfaction greater less than 70, and development over 70. So neocolonialism actually requires you to keep countries underdeveloped, but you can, just keep flipping off with the US, playing the same game they are. I can't imagine if the Soviet Union had done that, countries would historically escape from neocolonialism and turn to the Soviets. If the Soviets and Americans were both doing it, I guess they would have been between a rock and a hard place. Countries in the third world. I mean, they didn't always. Sometimes authoritarian regimes prevented countries from flipping sides to Soviet model. Interesting, these countries are authoritarian, despite, I think I have to actually stimulate a revolution to make them people's democracies and socialist republics. I don't know. Maybe certain ones are just locked into it. And I don't have the ability to change this to a socialist republic yet. Socialist reformism, Western democracy, bleh. All sorts of stuff. It's a mishmash. And you seem to not even be able to influence it. It doesn't affect that much in the game. These kind of countries. But the Warsaw Pact seems to affect the rate of loyalty loss and mobilization gain. It's worth noting the pre-game events. Apparently, they affect mobilization levels, as well as relations with the West, cracking down on Germany. Very soon after World War II actually has very little effect on Western relations, so I probably should have done at least that one. I think I did in a previous run, and that was a good decision. But, yeah, honestly, for the amount of mobilization, I'm not sure if it changes the set point, but it's quite possibly worth cracking down on at least some of them. Righty then. Although if you get mobilization very high, Romania can start as a socialist reformist instead of authoritarian, I think, country. Which might be easier, because then you might be able to do a military base in it. Anyways. Cameroon's got a high development level here. So I should actually be able to do a little more resource extraction, but I'm gonna have to do some more civil aid after. Let's see. I've been running too conservative a game here, not getting enough protest events and such. Honestly, I probably should have been willing to risk a little more of those, so that I have more funds to support socialism abroad. This is gonna definitely lead to some Warsaw Pact and Republic events. I can allow a little bit of liberalization, reforms in the USSR proper, at least. Warsaw Pact is a little trickier, just because I gave myself all this room. Took political reforms actually reduce corruption that you want to avoid. Economic reforms, because they increase it. Initially instituting capitalism will at least temporarily increase corruption. It tends to be permanent, which people are like, oh, why is deep learning corruption? Yeah, not usually as bad as companies buying politicians. Let's see. Luxury level is 7. Went past it. Size of the service industry is 8. Industry is 9. So this is a multiplier in the luxury. I put the. I'm gonna decrease computerization probably. Let's say cut a 5th off it. But increase funding in the service sector a little. Get it back up to a larger size. I need to get all possible resources to exporting socialism around the world. The cadet soldiers' living expenses so high. It seemed to increase the size of the army recruitment. I mean, more military aid stuff. I'm not entirely sure about that, but it's probably not a terrible thing to leave. By the way, Lieberman reforms lead to a lot of liberalization in the Warsaw Pact, so you really don't want to do them. It was surprising. I always look up stuff on the effects of the pre-game events. You actually increase opposition at the start of the game by taking a freedom of conscience approach. As well as the science points, it may be worth leaving the status quo on that one. There's not many more things I can trim. Probably this. The main reason I kept healthcare where it was for maybe slightly higher population emphasis and higher population growth, but need a little more influence abroad. You know, I think 140 is probably an easy enough to avoid nuclear meltdown. Might need it at that level on realism and definitely on hard. At least there's a very low chance of it here. Especially with this much environmental support. You know what? Risk that too. So we turn diplomatic missions, and what's the cultural contentment is not quite maxed. Especially because I'm trimming other things. Because these probably can be subject to corruption, so it's better to distribute them more evenly. Boom. UN support gives cultural contentment to your population. MSC is surprisingly staying at size 8 for this funding level. Yeah, might want to trim envelopes on some things. That's the other thing. Intellectuals. Wait. Oil, surprisingly so. Maxed. Yeah. I think I can risk cutting their envelopes entirely. Might sit in the reserves. Right, actually it might supposedly slightly affect tax income. And whatever isn't draw exactly I need to out for Now, although I could do this, it's more efficient political power. How much do I have on hand? 29 points. If I pick countries to vote disapproval and maybe try and hold on to them a little. Instead of this constant swapping game. Senegal's had some investments, some of these countries. Cote d'Ivoire must have just swapped. This is very low development. Doesn't affect disapproval, so... Get 25 development. Can I do... Actually... need a couple levels of military aid here to... No, can't even... It's not worth developing Mauritania and Mali. I might lose control of either. In fact, it's likely Mali. Flip will reduce the development somewhat. Trying to stabilize some of my block here. Probably do so. Mostly if I run into enough of ship. Some of them, not all. Chad's probably a lost cause, for instance. Nigeria. Boom. Togo's more urgent than... This might be silly, I might just want to let the symbol flip over and over, but alright. It's gonna drain pretty much my reserves for a while. Use military aid to try and hold on to Cameroon if I can. Gabon's probably not worth keeping either. Chad and Gabon. Yeah, keep a block of these countries. The US periodically refills its indicators from control of their world. Represent their exploitation of such. Alright. Sorry, some smoke alarm. Yeah. Like, US is sitting at 7 for economy, citizen 10 and 5 for army power. I think it's pretty inactive on easy difficulty here, but I think it does actually do military aid to reduce this revolution level in some of the countries. Occasionally. Probably focuses on countries in Latin America, if I were to guess. And yeah, Bolivia's eventually gonna flip back to my side. Sorry. The war for Kashmir can pretty much never be done. It never seemed to develop the army large enough, even with more extensive conscription. Already nationwide. And it never seems to get up to 7. Even if I don't use the military. I don't know why Papua New Guinea is so slow to... It does gain revolution level. Probably its development's a little higher, but... Okay, let's see what I get next, unless there's a minister I want to change. Maybe I'll check. Checked any of these in a while. Could be valued economic self-governance. Even with the Brezhnev Doctrine, a ton of mobilization in the Warsaw Pact. Yeah, nothing I want to change. So, boom, mobilization in the GR. Unsurprising. Gotta send the army. Healthcare took a cut to medical funding. Left wing actually liked dealing with that that way. Others did not like it. Opposition grew despite it. Opposition was probably hurt by that. Housing continues to deteriorate a little. Sorry. What this is supposed to be of. Better not wait till like a consumer goods shortage, considering there's a lot of essential commodities available. Doesn't make much sense. What will have consequences? I haven't changed anything in a while. The population fall? Oh yeah, I noticed before my stability versus that of the USSR historically in this time period. And production. I never read that carefully enough. Before. A little inflation there because reserves went low. Spending on third world stuff. Prices. I mean, well, oil income is somewhat recovered. Alright, what's going on with the oil to the Republics? It's a bit low because the envelopes. Okay. These are actually more oil than the rest, possibly because they considered that letter before. Well, these ones are more. Maybe it's because they have an external border. Actually, it's just the core Republicans. Who is the second man in the state? Romanov. Who is a conservative, actually. There's not enough power to displace me, so let's take like conservative / Stalinist. Tayokin's got enormous power. I don't spend pressure any of them right now. Just keep an eye on 4131 there. Mobilization in Bulgaria. It's an army again. Hurt relations with the US and China and France, actually, though you guys can't see it. You see different descriptions here. Aldrich Ames. When I had to drop in U.S. Army strength and population containment opposition and mobilization. So if I'd been able to recruit him, he would have helped keep the opposition weak. That's good to know in the future. I don't know why I couldn't recruit him this time. Possibly because I was playing as the U.S. at the time, I think. Says when these guys are active, it's that they somehow become leader. Alright. That. Although I will take a quick look over here, since China looked capitalist. There is this support loyalist thing. I don't know how it works, but yeah, friendship pact, high relations. Now you can get high relations, and they seem to hate you once they make that flip. Probably incredible amount of diplomacy. Another one of these. Soldier loyalty is dropping a bit from this. Still pretty reasonable.